Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we are going to be talking about one of the most hyped up video games perhaps of this entire console generation so far, that game being God of War Ragnarok, right? This game seems like it's achieved some sort of mythic status, right? I have yet to meet somebody who hasn't looked forward to the God of War Ragnarok release that's actually going to play PlayStation or PC or anything. As a PC player, man, I am really excited, hoping that this game will be on PC, and well, to my surprise, they haven't announced plans. But, you know, PlayStation, they've been releasing some of their exclusives on Steam, so hopefully someday this comes to PC. Thankfully, I do have a PS5 though, because I really want to get my hands on this game. I'm hearing such great things about it, and I'm sure you are too, and that's really the focus of today's video, right? God of War Ragnarok is getting so much praise, so much love, so much hype right now, and honestly, it's got me to the point, man, where I am so ready to get my hands on this game. So, now that review scores have settled, we can see where God of War Ragnarok stands in the larger pantheon of game releases this console generation. And to no surprise, its 94 score, tied with the first game, puts it nearly at the top. Currently, God of War Ragnarok is the second highest scoring game of the PS5 and Xbox Series generation. It would be lower if you include the Nintendo Switch, but I consider that technically a last-gen system that Nintendo is still just selling tons of. Me too, 2BH. But between PS5 and Xbox Series X, here's how the current list breaks down, and I think you can probably guess what's number one, and that of course is Elden Ring. This game has gotten so much praise and so much hype. Personally, one of my favorite video games that's released in the last few years. Fun fact, I still have yet to beat Elden Ring. I do need to go back and actually beat it, but man, that game is hard. It's my first game in the Souls series I've taken seriously, and it's definitely a challenge. But yeah, definitely a phenomenal game. But God of War Ragnarok is only 2 points below that, and it's number 2 in this console generation, actually just above number 3, which is Hades with a 93. So God of War Ragnarok has gotten a 94 out of 100 total aggregate score so far after the reviews from all these different publicists and all these different places have come out. I gotta say, man, that's a pretty phenomenal score. I think a lot of people, you know, when you see a number like a 94 there, it's gonna hype you up. It's definitely hyping me up. The games that get these kinds of scores oftentimes are those games that really define a generation of games, right? And of course, God of War, which came out in what, 2018 on the PS4, in like their series reboot or whatever, right? It was a phenomenal game. I played that. It was a masterpiece in my opinion. I had a lot of fun on that game, and that's really another one of the reasons that I'm really waiting on God of War Ragnarok. It's gonna be one of those games that makes me get back on my PlayStation 5, you know? Like, I don't honestly play my PS5 all too much. I play my PC more than anything, obviously. But this is one of those games, like, I'm gonna have to experience it, man. I'm gonna have to play it, and I don't want to have to wait 6, 10, 12 months or whatever, maybe even longer to get a port to PC. You know, everyone's saying that this game plays so phenomenally on the PS5. I've heard nothing but great things about how it looks. Apparently this game is just so aesthetically and visually pleasing, and when you see the screenshots and everything, you honestly see it, but people are saying it looks so goddamn good, and from what I've also been hearing, it isn't even maxing out what the PlayStation 5 can even do. So that really gets me excited for what this game is gonna look like, what it's gonna play like, how it's gonna be as an experience. Now keep in mind though too that God of War Ragnarok kind of serves as one of those games that is supposed to be like the pinnacle, I guess, of competition in the gaming industry. Obviously PlayStation and Xbox, they're huge rivals. They're both trying to sell more consoles than the other. I would consider Nintendo, but they haven't put anything out this generation. Once again, I don't really consider the Switch a modern gen console. So with that, right, you know, we have to note something else, because Xbox, they've had a good number of like their high Metacritic scores and everything, and I kind of want to take the opportunity to see where this game is going to kind of play into like that competition between the two, right? Between Xbox and PlayStation. And thankfully this article from Forbes helps us break it down even more. So let's go ahead and take a look again. As some have noted, Xbox has had a number of high Metacritic scoring releases, hence why they were Metacritic's Publisher of the Year back in 2021. Forza continues to be an incredibly strong series for Xbox, its strongest in fact, though we'll see that if that changes if Starfield comes along and blows everyone away. But this winter certainly unfortunately, there is nothing on the Xbox side to match God of War Ragnarok. Both consoles, of course, have access to Elden Ring, even if Sony generally has a closer relationship with FromSoft. At least it wasn't a Bloodborne situation this time around. The God of War scores are extremely impressive. With more and more critical outlets submitting reviews these days, it's getting harder and harder to ever break into the mid to high 90s, as just a few outliers can sink you. It's why we'll probably never see another Ocarina of Time's 99 score again. But yes, I'm sure Sony is thrilled with how Ragnarok has been received. And that they have to have been, because once again, this is one of their big exclusive games, right? They're trying to drive those PlayStation sales. They're trying to convert gamers. They're trying to get people on board the PlayStation army, right? And this is one of those games that they're really relying on helping them do that with. They want this game to do good. They want this game to sell well, because the better it does, the better it is for their company and the better it is for the PlayStation brand. Now, for me personally, I don't really care about the console wars. I don't care about the whole PlayStation versus Xbox and PC. I don't really care about any of that. I think it's stupid. So I'm more about like what the better game is, you know, like who's making the better exclusive games, who's making the better exclusive titles, who's putting out the better overall product. That's what I'm more into, right? And with games like this, it really makes me lean into PlayStation, right? Like I have a PS5, I don't have an Xbox Series console. Maybe that's an L for me. I don't really know. I don't participate in it. I just bought a PS5 because that's what I wanted, right? But it's games like this that make me happy that I bought that PS5, that make me happy that I have that ability to kind of get into the game and try it out, right? But overall, I always get really excited to see these high scores, right? When these studios put out a video game that goes up and drops a, 94, 96, a 95, a 92. I love to see them get that love and that respect for their title, because, that means it's a better product for everybody. Like if everyone can agree that this game is like, hey, a classic game, right? That's awesome, man. I mean, that's just good, because like I've made so many videos over the last few years talking about, oh, there's no game that really gets me excited to play games. Like every game that's coming out is a flop. And I love it when that gets reversed to the course. You know what I mean? I love to see when a great video game drops that you can play for a few months and just grind and enjoy. Like I said, I was really pleased with Elden Ring. I was surprisingly happy with the release of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now if God of War Ragnarok can come along and give me yet another one of those games that I can just kind of, more casually play but also be challenged at the same time, I'm finally gonna have one of those perfect lineup of video games to play again. And for me personally, that's huge, because not only do I record content and my employees help me record content here for the YouTube channels, but we're huge gaming fans ourselves. So to see a game like God of War Ragnarok coming out, getting these numbers, getting this amount of hype, makes me want to play the game all that much more, man. And I don't know how you guys feel. Of course, let me know about that down in the comments. I love to hear what you guys have to say about stuff like that. But the game will officially be out in just a couple of days for the PlayStation 4 and for the PlayStation 5. November 9th, 2022, we will be getting what is looking like it's going to shape up to be one of the pivotal gaming launches of not only this year, but this console generation. The way it looks right now, God of War Ragnarok is going to be a game that we can look back on, right? And we can honestly say that it's one of the best games of the generation, one of those legendary games that stands out, one of the greatest hits. So 5 out of 5 from Tech Radar, 10 out of 10 from IGN, 94% on Metacritic. Very impressive numbers lineup for the game. Let me know, man, are you guys going to be playing God of War Ragnarok? Let me know down below. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below, and until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, hyped up for God of War Ragnarok, and signing out.